This is the Scout series by Rocket. This is the latest in 2021. We're going to go through. We've got the Mini Scout, the Surf Scout, the Downhill Scout, and the Classic Scout, the one that we all love. And there's also the Pool Scout. I haven't included those in this, mainly because I can't fit them in the picture. And also, they're a little bit more specific. They're skateboard style, not longboard style. So we'll do a separate video on those. So let's just get through some quick specs. Okay, so we've got the Classic Scout. This one's like 32.2 inches long. It's 9 inches wide. The wheelbase. So the great thing about these is there's old school and new school. So you're not limited by trucks. So for old school, that's like 19.3 to 21 inch. That's 49 to 53 centimeters. And I mean, just quickly, the Mini Scout is 28.6 inches long, same size as the Surf Scout. These two, the Downhill and the Classic, are both the same size at 32.2 inches long. And I don't know, each one has its own unique sort of proposition. The Classic Scout is exactly the same as the 2020 Scout. It's constructed a little bit differently. Has a nice graphic. The Scout's made, this Classic Scout's made out of maple, flax, which gives it a nice texture and also some dampening. And it has this ABS top sheet on the top. And it's hard to see that in the light. You might be able to see. But it gives this protection and strengthening on it. It's the same beautifully routed wheel wells, drilled, shaped. Really nice. Okay, so the Concave, it's like, it's a nice tub style concave, and you get this sort of wheel flares and concave. It's pretty much 0.5 of an inch, 12 millimeters. Now, the big feature on these is it's got like a banana rocker, and you'd hardly notice it. Like it's not like a true sort of rocket board, but it gradually goes up here, which means that your trucks are wedged at about 3 degrees positive, and then at the back, that rocker gets a little bit steeper, so it goes up into the tail. And they have this comfort tail. It's hard to notice, but there's a convex part here that goes up into the tail. But what it means is it's a super comfortable tail. Like, just skating it, your foot goes in here, and it's like the tail is extended into the board, and you get this, you can use the whole board. So it's not like your foot just stays here behind the tail. The tail sort of goes up gradually and it's all usable. So you find that you're putting your foot here. Why I like this board is I have a really wide stance when I skate. I don't like a small, putting my feet close together. I like putting them like farther apart, and especially when I'm sort of going off banks or I'm carving, my feet just naturally go back. So this tail and this sort of board, it just feels so big. It's amazingly how big it feels when you're actually on it and you're skating it. It feels like a bigger board because it's all usable space. And you can see the concave, it's really nice everywhere. There's nice little reference points for your feet, but it's not really aggressive. It's just like one of those boards that you just love to skate. Now, you can pretty much put any side of trucks on these, whether it be reverse kingpin, traditional. Look at those, can we see that? And the graphics, how good are the graphics? I'd love to skate that. Where's that? Okay, so that's the classic Scout, okay? Now, I told you I love the classic Scout. Like, to be honest, this one's my favorite, the downhill Scout. I don't know. So this used to be a custom. You could get Danny in the factory to build your stiff Scout. If you ask and pleaded and he wasn't too busy, he'd do one for you. And there's a few kicking around, but this one, it's now part of the range. As you can see, beautiful graphics. So the difference is it's got like this black flax. It's stiffer. There's the little burnt in logo. And with this one, okay, so with this one, it has sort of like these rounded edges. Can you see that? It's got these rounded edges. So it's sort of like, has a really nice feel to it. It's not too aggressive, but with the downhill, you have these really sharp edges. It's like a downhill board, and you can dig your heels into that. So it feels a little bit more aggressive. The concave is more aggressive, even though these are identical, like wheelbase, size, width, everything. It's all identical, except for it's stiffer, so it's a bit thicker, and it's got these sharp edges, and it's got the black flax on the top. Same quality, but it's just more aggressive, the concave. You can feel it when you stand on it. But again, it's got this beautiful tail, this comfort tail, and you end up using the whole thing. Like, you can get a full tuck in here. It feels awesome, it really does. It's like this small board. It has a smaller wheelbase. So there's a lot of people that I think it would really suit a larger skater as well. If you feel like you're too heavy for a standard skateboard, longboard, you need something a little bit stiffer. This one would be really good. So when I stand on it, I'm like 90 kilos. I get a little bit of flex out of this one, not much. The downhill one, I get. Okay, so the downhill one, super stiff. Now that brings us to the surf version, the Surf Scout. This one immediately, it's just so light. It's insanely light. It just feels like, it's just nothing there at all. Again, you got these lovely rounded edges. The Surf Scout has the same dimensions as the Mini Scout. So it's like 28, 29 inches which is 73 centimeters in the new scale, but it's wider, 9.5 inch wide, 23.5 centimeters wide, and it's made of bamboo. So you can see immediately it feels a little bit different. Can you see? There's no press ply in there. You can see the bamboo, the cross layering in there. I don't want to give away too many of Danny's secrets. And so it's got the flax on the bottom. It's got the beautiful graphic. Look at that. And then it's got this cork on the top. So if you want to do some barefoot skating, or it also adds a little bit of vibration dampening, so you can put on grip tape on it. This is your board, and okay, the flex, it's not that flexible. It's not that flexy, you know what I mean? I just flex it a little bit at 90 kilos, so don't expect it to be this super punchy, flexy board that's going to bounce you around. It seriously is a nice board. Like this one, again, you've got this comfort tail, and it just feels a lot bigger than you'd expect. If you want to build like the alternate, like mini cruiser, I would use this one. It's nice and wide. So you got plenty of, it's gonna feel super comfy when you skate it, super light. It's like, you'd put this on your backpack, you wouldn't notice it's there, you know what I mean? So you can travel with this, and it's, I don't know, I reckon that's a good one. I haven't set one up, but I think that one would be a lot of fun. Is old school, new school. So it doesn't matter what trucks you put on this, they're going to work. Whether you have some older Indies, whether you got some Bennetts, if you want to put on some like reverse Kingpin 150 Randalls, whatever you've got, this board is going to take it. There's nothing that this board. So if you got some wheels and trucks lying around, you need a deck, treat yourself. This one, the Rocket Surf Scout, it'll take anything, any wheels, any trucks. And it's, you got these big wheel flares, so you can put on a bigger wheel. And then we have the Mini, and it's basically the same as this one. Okay. It's just a mini version. The Concave, it's like a little bit smaller than the Surf Scout, but it's got like a nice tub concave. Again, you have like sort of like this little bit of a nose if you're into sort of like locking your foot in there, or you know, catching the nose to do some nose tricks, a nollie or something. It's a beautiful board. The Mini again, but this one uses maple, so you can see, you see that? You can see that's the big difference between this one and the Surf Scout. This one's maple. It's built just like the classic Scout, but just smaller. So if you're after that really aggressive, smaller board, put on some small trucks, small wheels, and blast around your school, college, university, city, you know, this one's gonna be nice. And it's got decent like concave and flex and wheel arches. It's a really nice board. And that's it. that's your, they're the sort of the longboard mini scouts. Choose your favorite. Which one? This one? No. I'm going this one.
Oh yeah.